Governor DeSantis now wants to increase taxes for those in Florida in order to punish Disney, okay? That's what he wants to do. Let me give you some background to this. Yesterday, Governor DeSantis escalated his war on Disney with his announcement to have the Florida legislature consider terminating the special districts established prior to 1968. This basically gives a special governance authority to Disney, and it allows Disney to also be affordable to those who patronize the facility, all right? Here's some of the video.
I am announcing today that we are expanding the call of what they are going to be considering this week. And so, yes, they will be considering the congressional map, but they also will be considering termination of all special districts that were enacted in Florida prior to 1968. And that includes the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
Now, what is this about? This is because Disney has decided to side with common sense, with humanity, with decency, with respect, with inclusion, diversity. Because Disney has dared to stand up for these values that we should all stand up for. They have dared to do this. Now, the governor of Florida is willing to utilize the awesome power of his executive and legislative authority and penalize them for their free speech, which, by the way, this is actually a violation of the Constitution, because the Constitution says that the government cannot make rules that will limit your speech. Disney has protected speech here. This is not a consumer boycotting Disney. This is a government entity saying, because we don't like what you have said about our legislation, we are now going to penalize you. That is, in fact, a constitutional violation, and I hope Disney sues them for that. Okay, this is the continued fallout under or due to Disney's criticism of the parental rights education, AKA Don't Say Gay bill, all right? Despite Disney's tepid criticism of the legislation prior to its passage, the company has since said it is a goal for this law to be repealed by the legislature or struck down in the courts. It continued in part, we are dedicated to standing up for the rights and safety of the LGBTQ plus members of the Disney family, as well as the LGBTQ plus members community in Florida and across the country. DeSantis said their goal crossed the line, all right? This state is governed, he said, by the interest of the people of the state of Florida. It is not based on the demands of California corporate executives. They do not run this state. They do not control this state. Okay, here's the thing. Isn't it quite interesting that when a corporation actually sides with the common person, Republicans no longer like corporations? Here's the other thing. Disney employs thousands of people. In addition to that, if this actually goes through, as the governor has proposed, economists say that it could increase the tax burden of those who live in Florida on an average of $2,500 to $2,800 a year. That is a tax increase. There's more. The Orlando Sentinel reported DeSantis earlier this month said he was receptive to changes to Disney's self-governing district. Some history and details of Reedy Creek, that's the district name. In 1967, state lawmakers passed the then Governor Claude R. Kirk Jr. signed the Reedy Creek Improvement Act that had been advocated by Disney for building a new theme park. The district essentially has the same responsibility as the government, such as land use, essential public services, wastewater control, and more. But it's Disney that's able to operate these functions, all right? The Sentinel reports. And according to the news conference in Florida, other districts could be affected as well, all right? So let me get into that. Now we get the intended move is to obviously punish Disney, but according to Mary Ellen Class of the Miami Herald, there's a bit of a snag in the proposal. Abolishing the district involves paying Disney's $2 billion bond debt from the building, all right? That's the building and the resorts. And to do that, families in orange counties could have thousands of dollars in an increase for taxes. Now, if you still believe that conservatives are low tax, smaller government people, I have some moon rocks to sell you. He's willing to punish the people of his state in order to make a political point. He's willing to get rid of thousands of jobs and auxiliary services through what's called vending and contracting to make a political point. And he's being applauded in the process of doing so. This man is out of control. He is antithetical to common sense and progress. At some point, Floridians, you will have to wake up to the reality that a madman runs your state. I know that he was in competition with Gillum, who he defeated. Gillum was alleged to have drugs and alcohol, and maybe he liked male prostitutes. Well, I gotta say this, that guy would still run your state better than this one. All right, A.B. thoughts?
First of all, leave Gillum alone. No, he went through enough. No, so look, DeSantis, right? We all know it's midterms, they're trying to appeal to their base, but we knew Florida was messed up when they couldn't decide whether they had voted for Bush or Gore, okay? We knew it was something wrong in the water out there. Disney is one of the largest employers in that area of Florida. So if you start messing with Disney, first of all, you're messing with people's livelihood beyond the taxes, right? We're American. And we need to uphold our democracy and be Americans. What we can't continue to do is decide that when we don't get our way or when we want to stay in power, forget the people, right? Forget the people that we serve. Let's just find all these little loopholes so that we can get what we want. This is why we need to vote. Y'all, it's midterms and the Republicans are getting a little out of hand with their tactics. DeSantis doesn't have enough money to go up against Disney the way he needs to. This is a whole ploy, it's a joke, right? And it's only gonna last for a little bit just so he can get his base all riled up and excited to make them think that he's doing something. But the reality is you don't have enough money or backing to go up against Disney the way you need to get this particular bill repealed. That's just that.
Right. So we'll see. I mean, I think DeSantis will bankrupt Florida in order to make a point. And I also believe DeSantis is using these tropes. He's using these moments to set himself up on a national stage to run for president. So he's willing to play the political game, which in turn hurts his actual constituents in the state so that he promotes himself as a great national leader for the Republican Party.